What's up, babies? DJ Hi Kevin back, and I got a little pad here. We're going to dive in today to things people don't care DJs do and things that they should care that DJs do. There's been a lot bouncing around on different Facebook groups for DJs and just generally in life as far as things people should care about what DJs do and the opposite. So we're going to kind of dive into a little bit of that as far as what myself and Teddy had a little discussion this past weekend about and what we really think about all of this. So let's just check off some hot topic items. Things people don't care DJs do. Use the sync button or other DJ tools. The sync button has been beaten to death and I just don't care about it anymore. But yeah, I use it sometimes. I use 1000 SRT at some of my mobile events, and I really like using that sync button when I do big transition jumps or when I'm kind of panicking. As a quick mixing DJ, it's very helpful to have that failsafe button as long as you're using it right. Back during COVID, DJ Audio 1 had a pretty long run where he was talking about how none of these tools really matter if you don't quantize your beat grids. So as long as everything is set up right, yes, the sync is a very helpful tool. But if you aren't taking the time as a DJ to set things up right, then it's not going to help you at all anyway. So really, the people that use the sync button appropriately are probably, in my opinion, trying not to use it anyway. I have my Reigns sitting right here, and I have some reloops in my storage unit, and I really like spinning on vinyl. There's a lot more control to it. And you lose a lot of those tools when you do switch to that level. And it was really fun having that learning process of not using the sync button, which made me, in my opinion, a much better DJ. But play at the level you're at. If you're using the sync button on every single song, who cares? And that's sort of the point I'm trying to make. Nobody cares as long as it sounds good, baby. People don't care if you play the same music in the same order. Unless you're a club DJ, you're not playing for the same crowd over and over and over again a lot. As a primary wedding DJ, mobile DJ, I have different guests at every event. So yeah, I'm coming up with the best ways to play the music that I play. We've seen a lot of playlist groups where people reach out and ask what to play after this song. I'm still not sure if I agree with that, but I do believe that there's a little bit of rhyme and reason to it. If there's a rhyme or reason to playing a song after another song, like a word play, like a tone play, like a fun, perfect sounding mix, then yeah, you should keep doing that, unless it's on the do not play. But routines can be really fun, really creative, really energy boosting. So there's no reason you shouldn't be doing that. People don't care how your crates are organized. People don't care if your crates are organized. But just like the tools that we use as DJs, having your music organized makes you better. So organize your crates. Do people care if DJs use transition edits? This is one I would like your input on. Because a transition edit, let's use something like low to get low, goes from 101 beats per minute up to 128. It's a fun little low wordplay, but it's something that I don't want to use because I would like to do it myself. So that's like a transition edit, literally an edit made to go from 101 beats per minute up to 128. Is using a song like Come On Eileen that goes from, I think, 103 up to like 123 because it boosts tempo, but it's not a transition edit. Is that cheesy? I don't think so. There's also that Black Eyed Peas song that does something similar. So I'm kind of just, comparing those two. So let me know in the comments what you think about all that stuff. But for me, I don't think people care if you use a transition edit. People don't care if you have a life outside of DJing. Dude, this has become such a thing on social media. Every single thing doesn't need to be DJing, in my opinion. All of my posts and all of my reels have something to do with DJing, but stories are great for sharing your personal life. I also like golf. I also love SpongeBob. Where's he at? He's somewhere over here. I love my cats, dude. I love my cats. Insert cat footage. And people really like to connect with you on a personal level as well. If you like cars, if you like sports, if you have a favorite team, if you like skateboarding, if you like Formula One, if you like computers, if you like video games, other people like that stuff too. And it's a way to relate with them outside of just being their entertainer. So yeah, post that shit. This is another one that I'm kind of split on. I don't think people give a shit about your resume. I think it's important to have some type of resume to show how long you've been working And obviously, if you work with someone huge, you should remember that. I personally have a couple accolades that I like to mention when people ask about that stuff. I've worked with Shaun T. I've done an Olympic athlete's wedding. Our company works very closely with the Eagles. I haven't had an opportunity yet. And of course, our owner, Jason Janai at SCE, has worked with fucking everybody. But at the end of the day, no one cares that Spinelli and I have been boys since we were 18. Unless they tried to book Spinelli and now they're booking me, then that really has no purpose. So maybe don't focus so much on the things you have done and focus more on the things that you are doing. I love the line, "What have you done for me lately?" because I think it tunes your mind to thinking a little less of that like high school Letterman jacket mentality. Don't hang your hat on the things you have done, but look for the next thing that you can do. The things that people should care that DJs do. This is a big one for me and Teddy. Live mixing whenever you can. I know I've seen Rachel share a lot about this too, how she likes to live mix whenever she gets a chance to. Some opportunities for this may include cocktail hour or dinner. We're really big on live mixing open doors when guests are walking in. That's Teddy's time to shine, bro, and I don't want to take that away from her. But to me, the amount of energy that gets added into the crowd by actually live mixing and sort of having the opportunity to read the room is massive. It's a whole nother level up versus just playing a mix because you can't change a mix. Even if all you're reading is shoulders rolling and feet tapping, you're reading. So yeah, live mix whenever you can. People should care if you dress professionally. How you're dressed is your first impression. How your gear looks is your first impression. So I'm going to kind of group all of this together here with how you're dressed and the way your DJ setup is, because I think we're past the days of 6-foot tables. It's okay if you still use one, but just remember that's how you're presented. So even if you're using a 6-foot table, don't leave a Gatorade bottle on it. Don't leave like your crumpled socks on it. Keep that shit clean. I think that's the best way to show that you are serious about what you do. And of course, an extension of that is how you're dressed. In these videos, I don't get too dolled up. I definitely think about the way I look, and my hair looks like shit today, so that's why I'm wearing a hat. But for every wedding, I shave my neck. For every wedding, I wear a shirt and a jacket and pants and nice dress shoes. If I'm an assistant or if I'm shooting video, then things are a little bit different. I want to be comfortable, but I also want to be presentable. If you have your own thing, like somebody that we work with at SCE, Saxman Art, he has his crazy cool look. He's got his like gold gilded black jacket. He's got his freaking Louis Vuittons on with the spikes and shit on it. And he's got his sweet saxophone and it all matches. That's a vibe. But at the end of the day, I'm kind of a hard pass on sneakers if you're the host. I'm a hard pass on wearing a t-shirt under your suit just because it's hot out. There's amazing activewear out there that you can get that is a button-down shirt that can pass. But also, I've worn a cotton polo in the heat of summer at an outdoor gig. Mistake on my part, but I kept it on because I wanted to look professional. So think about this kind of stuff. Dress for the job you want, not the job you have. Right? That's an old proverb. One thing I've noticed with booking a lot of the weddings that I've been doing lately is that they truly care if I know and have worked with other vendors before. I have a wedding this fall where I'm going back to my old true stomping grounds of Hershey, Pennsylvania. And getting to go to a venue that I basically used to live at means I get to see some pretty awesome vendors. There's some new ones in the area, so I don't know the videographers, but I know the venue and the caterers. And that's a good feeling going in. We were just back in York a couple weeks ago, hitting up historic Shady Lane and working with a planning company, Taryn Blake Events, that we love. Teddy actually used to work for them, so it's a super plus. But the group of people that planner pulled together for this wedding was chef's kiss, baby. Insane photographer in Rachel Rule with her assistant. Amazing food from Pharmacy. Rosemary and Rust on the florals. A to Z Rentals. And Jesse Baker Event Company putting together the entire ceiling display. This wedding was perfect. Not to mention we actually knew the bartender too. Shouts to my man Davey from Ireland. I doubt he'll see this. But when we walked into that wedding, knowing everybody, being friends with people, and knowing that we had a successful night already planned out was next level. The confidence you have and the comfort you have when you go into that, anxiety completely brushed aside. So to make sure that these vendors not only like you, but will help you get new clients, make sure you work nice with them. Because a couple will see that. They will see you if you treat the photographers like crap. And the photographers won't forget that. So yeah, just play nice because you never know who's watching and you never know who's going to ask about you. Going along with working with other vendors is your attitude. That, in my opinion, is what sets up the entire day. I saw a tweet or a thread or something recently that said, if you show up to your gig in a bad mood, you're going to have a bad set, which I 100% get behind. Doing club stuff last year, the club wasn't always popping. And if I had a bad set the week before, I would come in with my head kind of hanging. And it definitely affected the way that I performed. With weddings, we always get there super early, and I make sure I eat on the day of, and I make sure I'm coming in with a smile on my face, because that is how you guarantee that you're going to have a smile throughout the night. Sometimes it's difficult to brush off something bad that's happened in your life. Sometimes it's hard to brush off something big, impactful, or hard that's happened in your life. But we signed up for this. You have to know that at some point you're going to lose someone or something very close to you, and you're going to have to go out and pretend like it didn't happen. You're going to get broken up with. You're going to lose family members. You're going to lose pets. But you really got to bite that and just go out and do your damn job. Some of you may remember a previous video I have from back, I think it was last October. I got the call from my mom that my Oma had passed away that morning. And we had to get in the car and be on our way at like 11 a.m. So I was stewing in the car just thinking about my Oma. That's German for grandma, by the way. And then I had to show up to the venue and keep a smile on my face. And like one little thing went wrong, and I kind of snapped at the planner. I won't forget it. I've apologized to her, and we're buddies now, but I still won't forget it because I always want to keep this head on these shoulders and have a clear mind, you know? Yeah, things get hard for us, just like anybody else, but you got to get up and you got to do your job. But one quick thing, please take care of yourselves mentally, physically, emotionally, because we got to give ourselves, and you can't pour from an empty cup. Just another idiom for you. People are starting to care more than ever whether you're using proper equipment. I've had a lot of random couples ask me what type of speakers I use, what type of microphones I use, what type of board I use. They ask what my setup looks like. All this stuff, all of it adds up. And your personal budget aside, make sure you reinvest in yourself. I think that's the main point I'm trying to make with this. When you invest in yourself, you invest in your brand, and frankly, that only makes you look better. But yeah, using proper equipment for your venue, for your ceremony space. Don't nickel and dime people if you have to use an extra speaker here and there. Just get the job done, baby, and get it done right. Bro, this is a big one for me. Don't replay songs, ever, at the same event, I should say. But just don't. There's so much music. There's no excuse for playing the same song twice. One thing you need to be able to do as a DJ is read the crowd. That is 100%. There's no real FAQ for reading a crowd. There's no tutorial. There's no walkthrough. It all comes from experience. So book those gigs, get out there, read the crowd, learn from things, and most of all, make sure you're practicing. When I haven't practiced, there is a giant microfiber cloth that goes over these, and I try to make sure that it doesn't sit there for more than 24 hours. Life happens. We're business owners. And on top of the business owning, we also have life that happens around us. But you are a business owner, and you have a job to do, and you have people to take care of. Don't slack. Don't use excuses. Get on your shit and work it out. Even if it's just working in Serato on your home PC or on your laptop, you've got to be playing with the music you have. And I'm sorry, but downloading new music is not the same as practicing. Getting new music to me is actually the opposite of practicing. Yes, you're bumping up your library, but you're not learning from the stuff you already have. That's like getting a new toy the day after you got a new toy. You didn't even play with the first new toy. Go play with that one first and then get another new toy. Oh, I like that shit. I'm writing that down. So some other ones that kind of fall in the middle for me are troubleshooting. Teddy kind of brought up troubleshooting. She thinks that's a very important skill as a DJ to have, to be able to troubleshoot all the gear that you have. So that's like, oh man, everything's on, but sound's not coming out of my speakers. What could it be? I was an AV tech in college, so that's really helpful for me. I'm a big fan of signal flow and using that to troubleshoot, but I've also worked with people that call themselves DJs that don't know what an XLR cable is. I've got some super fun stories on that stuff. You got to ask me sometime. But with the thought of should people know about troubleshooting or not, I think people should know that you have the skills to troubleshoot, but when it comes to the event, they should never know that you're troubleshooting. Do not jump on the microphone and say, oh, we're having some technical difficulties. They can probably hear you're having technical difficulties. Or if they didn't, then just keep on keeping on. Don't bring it up. Tell the planner maybe buy you an extra 2 minutes, but get to work figuring it out. And maybe just have one person do it. I feel like it's easier to just have one cook in the kitchen. All right, one more that I'm kind of split on, and I'm leaning a little more towards people do care about this, is volunteering your time as a DJ. You, as a skilled professional, you as an individual, as a DJ, even if you're a hobbyist, have a skill that others do not possess. And it's truly a skill. And I believe that you should share that with people, with as many people as you can. I make an effort to donate my time, averaging once every 6 months. I think I've actually already hit my quota for this year as far as volunteering my time, but that's not going to stop me from going out and DJing at an event if I want to do that event, but they do not have a budget. When I tell you that I volunteered my time that then turned into multiple gigs, I ain't lying. There's videos on this channel of that. But make yourself known, make yourself useful, make yourself a part of a community outside of the DJing world, and make people happy. Certain philosophies will tell you that the answer to what is happiness is contributing to a community, is to feeling useful, is to giving yourself to others. And frankly, I have some time on my hands and I want to do that. Don't get taken advantage of, but definitely put yourself out there to be a friend, to be an advocate for groups you believe in. You could do car meets, you could do flea markets, you could do pools, you could do just parks. There's so much opportunity to DJ, and people rarely are like, ew, turn this free music off. Even if it's just taking your speaker, setting it up, and playing a Spotify list, it's better than listening to a Beats pill. Look into your local communities, make some friends, and see if you can help out. Put yourself out there. If nothing else, you'll be seen as the person that was offering their time, and people will remember that. But of course, there's the flip of it, which is getting taken advantage of and wasting your time. But as far as I'm concerned, if you're DJing, you ain't wasting your time. That could just be practice. Those smaller, lower profile events give you a chance to bring in some footage, get some content, make a few people happy, and also sort of have like that low risk reward. So you can try out some fun mixes that you maybe have been planning, try out some different routines, get really open format and get a little risky. When I tell you that those have been some of the most entertaining events I've ever done, I ain't lying. So there it is. There's the whole notepad Teddy and I came up with. It was fun making this list, and I'd really love to hear what you think about some of those items that I mentioned. Or did you think I got any wrong? Anything else we can add to this list? Hit me in the comments with what you all think, and I'm going to be conversing with you too. It's great to have this channel to just scream what I think, but I'm really interested in what, the whole community thinks. So thanks for being here and checking out this video. If you could do me a favor, if you could like and subscribe to the channel, if you got anything from this, it would mean a lot. But without further ado, I appreciate you. Thanks for coming out, y'all.